Hello, it's Jervon. Welcome back to my channel. Today I will be teaching you step by step on how to draw and paint Baby Dino. Let's go. So let me tell you what you're gonna need. A canvas. This is 12 by 16. You don't have to have that size. You can have whatever size you want for this painting. You're gonna need your paint, and I have my paint on a paper plate so I can just toss it out when I'm done. I have primary colors here, just the red, blue, and yellow. And I'm also going to add a little bit of white and a little black later. Some brushes, small, medium, and a large. A paper towel, some water. I have a piece of chalk. You can just use a pencil and an eraser. Let's get started. We're going to paint our background. So we're just going to add a little bit of red and white to make our pink. So take your large brush, dip it into your white paint, and then take a little bit of your red paint and make a mixture there, okay? This is our pink here. I'm gonna add a dab of yellow to kind of make it a little bit of a different kind of pinkish color, okay? A little more white. And now with this pink mixture, we're just gonna paint the entire canvas, okay? It doesn't have to be any specific kind of way. Okay? Just fill up this whole entire canvas. Loose little brush strokes. It doesn't have to be perfect. I'm actually going in on some of it with just straight white. And if you run out, just make another mixture of that. That little dab of yellow. Doesn't have to be super perfect. Just get it all painted in, all that canvas covered. Have fun with this. It doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, make sure you get that very bottom. Okay, and now it's time to get ready for the next step. You will need to have your canvas completely dry for this next step, okay? Our canvas is completely dry. Very important. Grab your pencil. I'm gonna use a piece of chalk so that you guys can see. We're gonna sketch out our Baby Dino. Okay? Find the very center of your canvas, okay? And that is where we're going to start with an oval shape, just like this. So we're just gonna do a series of small marks and we're just gonna kind of connect them, okay? So, middle of your canvas, and the center is about, I would say, right there. Go a little bit above that, and we're gonna start a small line there, going like a curvy line at the top. We're gonna do the same thing at the bottom, okay? And we're gonna come over here, not all the way to the ends of the canvas, but we're gonna do the sides of the dino's mouth, okay? Or cheeks, both sides, okay? Like that. Now we're just gonna create this oval shape. Just close it on in, okay? Like that. His head is kind of tilted, a little bit like that, okay? Or her head. Now we're gonna do the top of her head, okay? And that's gonna go still at the corners of her cheeks here. Okay, and her head is tilted, but the top will be about right there. Not all the way at the top, but maybe like 3 inches down from the top. And it's gonna be a head shape, so we're gonna curve that down and do the same thing on the other side and connecting that there. We're gonna move on to do the neck. I'm gonna make a couple of marks on the side, and I'm gonna make the bottom marks. So you guys, and we're just gonna connect those lines, okay? Down and outward. Down and outward, that little neck. And the tail will be over on this side. So we're gonna do a little upside down U shape there. And I'm gonna connect, the bottom ends are there. And we're just gonna literally connect those lines to that U shape there. And come on down to connect. There is a little shell on the top of her head, so we have to do that part also. So almost at the very top of your canvas, we're gonna do another arch, okay? And it's gonna have to be bigger than her head. So we're gonna come out about right there on both sides, okay? And we're gonna connect those in a curvy line shape, okay? Now it's also a cracked shell. So we're gonna just draw, this doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, and then connect that there. The next step will be where her eyes will go. A little marker there, and there is where we want it to start. And we'll do the same thing for the other side. We don't want it to go all the way to the ends of her head, but not in the very center either, but a little bit off, okay? So do another curvy line and connect it. And do another curved line and connect. She also has some little nostrils. So it's just another line on both sides and right underneath her eyes. And her little smirk will be about right here. So that's that. We also have a little flower that we're gonna have in this painting. We're gonna draw a little circle here. And we're going to draw the leaves, or the petals on the flower. So that's one there. We're going to put another one in the opposite spot. We're going to do another one. 2 more there. We're going to do 2 more here. And 2 more there. The stem will come just out and down. And we will move on to our next step, which is to outline this dino in black paint. We're gonna take our small baby brush and the black paint, and we're gonna start just outlining the sketch we just did. Okay, we're gonna ignore this line. So you can actually erase that. I'm gonna use my medium brush, dip it in water, and I'm gonna erase this chalk line here because we don't need it. And this center line, we don't need that anymore. Little water, black paint, and begin your outline. I like to start from the top and go down towards the bottom, usually the top left, and just trace that line. Doesn't have to be perfect, but you just want to be able to see the image. And if if you use chalk, you'll notice that your paintbrush gets really dry. She's already looking so cute. Okay. Now we are going to paint in her eyeballs, okay? We're gonna go in with our black paint and we're gonna paint full circles, just so right inside where her eyes would be. So paint a circle in there. Do the same for the other side. Trying to keep them the same sizes, and then fill that circle in. Same thing for the other side. Okay. We're also going to adjust her nostrils. We're going to just have some little openings in them. So I'm going to go right underneath and mimic that same curve and come out almost like a little teardrop, a curvy teardrop, and do the same thing for the other side. That's her little nostrils peeking out there. Now we're going to move on to paint highlights and lowlights in her face. So some darker shadows and some lighter areas, okay? So we're going to start with our darker shadows. Small brush, make another pink, which is just white and red, and we're going to add a little tiny bit of black to it. So to make it like a pinkish gray color. A little bit darker than that. Add a little more red to it. Red and black, less white this time. And right above, there we go. I'll make that a shadowy spot. Okay? And we're gonna do the same thing for the other side. At the top of her nose here, we're going to do that same color there. Here. Underneath her chin, do a line there. Make it a little thicker on the left side, and we're going to come down some of the side of her neck. And if it's a little stiff, add a little water to loosen up those brush strokes. The back of her tail. Okay. There's also some shadows underneath the eggshell. If the light source is coming from the right side of the canvas, we're gonna have some shadows on the left side of the canvas. Okay. Left side of her face, her cheek. Let's get the rest of this shell. Okay. And underneath that shell there. A little bit of shadow underneath at the bottom of her chin. I see her nostrils need a little bit of shadow inside them. So that same dark pinkish color that we made, I'm gonna fill in her nostrils with that. Okay, so cute. Now we're gonna paint the highlights on her. We're just gonna go in with white and the lighter pink that we had. Off of her nose here, the top of her nose. Make that a little more pink. Yeah. Blend that in. Sometimes you can use your finger and just spread that and make that blend in. The inside of her eyes, white. Okay. So I'm not going straight white. It's actually like the pink color, but lighter, a lot lighter. Just fill in that area around the iris. Do the same for the other eyeball. Some of her spikes on her tail, which are just some little triangles we're gonna paint in, okay? So we're gonna start a triangle shape there. And that's with the same light white pinkish color. You can just use straight white. We want another triangle there. Okay. And another one here. You can put as many spikes as you like. Back to your shadowy color that we did underneath the chin and all those shadowy areas. A little bit of water, and we're going to paint some little ovals on her to show her spots. Use your finger and blend that in if you want to. Just a little spot there. You can put as many of these as you like. She's got a few on her face. We want to add some. A little bit of water helps to move that paint around a little bit easier. One over here on her cheek. Okay. She also needs an eyebrow. Let's get a little bit darker and put her a little bit of eyebrow up there. How about that? That looks good. Don't forget her other one on the other side. Half of it isn't showing. Okay, now let's clean off that brush, and we just want to go in straight with black, and I'm going to paint some eyelashes on her. A little bit of water. water with that black helps to ease that paint along. I'm gonna start on her left eye, but on our right side, and right above where we painted the white part of her eyeball, we're just gonna do a couple of brush strokes out like that, and repeat the same thing for this side. So it's underneath, in between the shadowy area and the white of the eyeball. Just a couple of little lashes will do. Okay. And bring that black on over and outline that eyeball again. It's looking so cute. Just gonna bring back some of this outline we have here, that black. Right. Outline underneath that chin. We're just losing some of that line when we added those shadows in there. Okay. Next step, we are going to paint her eggshell, which is at the top of her head, almost like a little crown. So let's use yellow, okay? I'm gonna go in with the medium brush this time, get into my yellow, and just a little bit of white to not make it so yellow. Just kind of tone it down a little bit. And we're just gonna fill in that shell at the top of her head. Also going to add in some spots on the shell as well. So we're going to take that color with a little bit of black, okay, a little bit of water, and just add in some of those little dark ovals. Okay, they don't have to be in a perfect spot. We also need a highlighted area that shows where the sun is shining. So we're going to go back in with our white and yellow. We want a really light color. Just take that at the very top where I told you the sun is shining this way. And that's that area there. I'm actually going to put straight white. Circle that around. There we go. Looking good. Pack that white on there so it can really pop. Okay, petals on our flower. Medium brush. You can use the smaller brush if it's easier. Get a little bit of red, a little blue, or we just use a little black to darken that, and whatever darker color you want to do, but you want to fill in that circle of that flower there. And I'm going to take this stem and keep it black. Grab our small brush, dip it in the black, and we're going to add in some lines down the middle of the flower. bring back some of these lines on the flower. What a cute little flower. And I'm going to take my medium brush and I'm going to add a little bit of blush to her cheeks. And this is just red, straight red, but watered down red, okay? And put it on there and use my finger to smear it up. Smear it around with your finger. Just a little bit. I want to add in some white to the background. So actually, I think I want to just take my finger, dip it in my white, and go like that. Okay? Let's do that all over. Finger painting. You can do different sizes. You can do all the same size. Now we're getting down to our final steps. I'm going to take my small brush. I'm going to go back in with her eyeballs with a little more white, okay? Make those pop a little bit. Not the entire eyeball, just some of it. Then the last step on the eyes, I believe. Take the bottom end of your paintbrush, dip it in your white. I'm going to put a little white reflection there and do the same thing for the other side on the same side. Also going to add a little bit more of this reflection here, make that stand out a little bit more. I think she's looking really cute. And we're almost done. I'm going to lighten up these triangles for her spikes. Another coat. And a few pieces of white on our flower here. Take your small brush, clean it. We're going to go in with our black. We're going to paint some of the cracks in her shell. It doesn't have to be perfect, just little zigzag lines like that, okay? And we're doing it not in any particular order. I'm also going to re-outline some of her shell. A little bit of water with that brush really helps. Just move it on down her neck, just some of the areas that I feel are disappearing. I'll bring some of that back. Now it's time to move on to our last and final step, and that is to put your signature. I'm going to use black paint for my signature today. I add a little water to it. You can use white, you can use whatever color you want. And I'm going to put my signature right over here. I hope you've enjoyed Baby Dino.